So, 3DS, PS Vita. I've just gotten this PS Vita 2000 and I want to do a bit of a comparison. I've had this is a old gen 3DS XL, as you can see. I've had this one for about a year and a half. I just got this recently, like 2 days ago. They're both modded and I want to do some comparisons, so let's go. We'll start with boot time. So, PS Vita already loaded in a lot quicker than the 3DS, I must say. 3DS is now on. So, screen size. So the original 3DS XL does actually have a smaller screen than the Vita at 4.88 inches, whereas the Vita is at 5 inches. The 3DS has a 800 by 240 display on the top and 320 by 240 on the bottom, whereas the Vita has a resolution of 960 by 544. The TN version, this is I believe it's IPS for the Vita 2000, I'm not too sure. But both modded, as you can see. I want to go over the titles now. So obviously with the 3DS, you get all the Pokemon games, all the Mario games, everything Nintendo. But on the Vita, you get Sony exclusives. You get Uncharted, you can get God of War, like, you know, all the good stuff. I want to say this as well. Obviously, you can't get Minecraft on the 3DS, regular 3DS XL, but you can get on the Vita, which is a plus side. And you can get the enhanced edition, which is far better. Alright. Modding. They're both very easy to mod, but with the Vita you don't need a PC. This took me like 20 minutes, this took me like, I want to say 30-40 minutes the first time I did it. But I'd say this is a easier experience if you're like a beginner. So that definitely wins a point on that. Another thing as well, which I like about the Vita, you can get trophies like on PlayStation. It's not like, you don't get your regular PlayStation trophies. Like, it's only for Vita titles, but or ones you have on the system, but it's still pretty cool. And it's just, I feel like the touchscreen is a lot more responsive than on the, you know, like the 3DS is a bit dodgy in it. You can link your PSN account to this without any bad things happening to you, I'll say. Emulation, I prefer the 3DS for any Nintendo game, so Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. It runs natively, whereas this obviously has to emulate it with like RetroArt or MGBA or something like that. So I prefer the 3DS in terms of emulation. What the Vita can do, it can play the whole PSP and PS Vita library, which, as you can imagine, is quite good. I want to show you guys this as well. At the touch of your fingertips, any manga you can want. Let's just go on Vagabond. It's actually like better than I thought it'd be. It's just like reading it on your phone, but like a bit of a smaller device. But it looks quite nice. Like, no complaints really. I like that on the Vita. Don't know if you can do it on the 3DS, but Terraria, however you want to say it. So let's get these opened. I do want to say I feel like the Vita screen looks much nicer, especially from like other angles. PS Vita has loaded in faster, and I can say I do not like the Terraria port of this. A lot of people like it because it's nostalgic, but this just feels like a lot more closer to the console versions, or you know. This, on the other hand, is completely different, like the UI, and I believe this is more up to date. This, I don't know if it goes up to mechanical bosses, but this goes beyond that, I believe. But 3DS did actually load faster. But as you can see, you got the second display for things such as items, whereas on Vita you've got regular controls. They just get inside so I don't get slimed out. I feel like if you want an experience closer to the console edition, and more of the real Treyarch experience, you want to play it on the Vita. Actually feels a lot better on the Vita. Like, you got to take up your whole screen. Like, you can't even see through it. So Vita, I feel like I just like it a bit more because the touchscreen is obviously a lot better, whereas the 3DS, like, it's just not quite as good. But they're both good in their own rights. I'd feel like if you had to pick one, I'd pick the Vita. Again, this is the 2000 model. The 1000 has an OLED screen, so that looks even better. But still, I feel like this screen just looks completely fine, like as is. But if you are a fan of Nintendo titles, obviously get the 3DS because it's just a lot better on here. You could, like, half the ROMs and emulation is just going to be so much better on here as it runs natively. Whereas here it's probably be laggy. I couldn't even get RetroArch or MGBA. I had to run. I had to try this one. This one didn't even work either. But that's my opinion. I prefer the Vita overall and the 3DS, but they are both good in their own right. And the second joystick comes in handy too. So, yep. Let me guys know if you want to see any game comparisons or anything else like that down in the comments below, and hit the like if you can be grateful enough. So yeah, peace out. Just a side note, I do also feel like the PS Vita is a lot more graphically intense. Like, you'll be playing more graphically intense games with this than compared onto this. But the 3DS is more like, what's the word? Not kiddish, but less graphically intense games. Obviously, the second joystick does help with that. Whereas if you've got the new 3DS, it's still not much of an upgrade, is it? Or not much of a second joystick. So yeah, peace out.